Hello, hello, and welcome to Coaching Corner with me, Tracy Forsyth. So I just want to share an image I was sent this week. There we go. By one of the leaders that I work with. And it says, it's two books, one tiny little book, which says Compliments I Remember, and one big fat tome, which says Criticism I Remember. Anyway, so one of the leaders I work with, she sent it to me, and we both had a very good chuckle, because when I work with people, I always ask them to clock the compliments they get and pay them as much heed as the criticism. So it is easier said than done, methinks. So so many, this is my topic this week. So many of the leaders I work with are what I call self-critical overachievers. And I really identify with that because I am a former self-critical overachiever. So I know exactly what that is like. And the thing about self-criticism is that it doesn't stop the more senior you are. It's not like you ever reach a place and are completely impervious to it. Au contraire, even at the top echelons of industry, criticism, whether it's self-criticism or from others, is rife. It's part of the job, yeah? So why is it that we have a laser-like focus on any criticism we receive, or that we revert to self-criticism so easily, no matter where we are in life? Yeah. Partly, I think it's because we have it baked into our DNA. So obviously, I'm not a scientist, so don't quote me. But from what I can see, we're living creatures who are alert to any signs of danger. So criticism might not be life-threatening, but it's potentially something that threatens our job security. And also, again, I'm not an anthropologist, but we humans do seem to enjoy company. So I'm not sure we're classed as pack animals, but maybe we're like tribal, yeah? So, and I think belonging is a core part of us feeling safe and secure. So criticism can definitely threaten that. And if you think back to high school days, how many of us wore exactly the same style of shoes, had the haircut of the day, wore the leg warmers and the big shoulder pads? Hello, 1980s teens. Why did we do it? Well, we wanted to be in and not out. And when we think about self-criticism, some of the most talented, cleverest, high-achieving people that I've ever met have been incredible off-the-scale self-critics. Partly, I think it's given them the drive to succeed, never resting on their laurels, being the absolute best. But also, it's predominantly, I think, it's caused by their self-expectation that they have to be perfect. They never can drop the ball. They always have to be faultless. There is no other way. Yeah. And I know that because that's how I was. So, one of the questions, I suppose, is like, what's wrong with all of that if it makes you successful? Well, that's where I kind of want to get into the compliments bit, because if you only focus on the criticism, then it can be really draining and use up a lot of your precious energy. It makes you focus on the negative unduly rather than the positive. You might well be so focused on what needs fixing that you completely just disregard the amazing assets that actually need amplifying. So what to do about this? My first step is to accept the darn compliments when they come along and don't bat them away without, a second thought. You would obsess over it if it was a criticism. So give it as much time, give the compliment as much time as you would if it were criticism, to acknowledge it, digest it, let it percolate in your mind, and muse over, feel it. Second, there's one thought about why people don't take compliments seriously, is that there's no discernible action to take when somebody compliments you, unlike a criticism. Yeah. So I say my tip for that is to turn any compliments into an action. So for example, oh, you're such a good speaker. Well, the action from that is going, well, thank you very much. You know, do you want to, can I share my tips with you? Can I mentor you through how I do it? Is that of interest to you? Or would you like me to come and speak at such and such? You know, so amplify it, double down on it. So my third point is that when you get a compliment, do an internal check to see if the compliment fits with your internal beliefs about you. For example, you know, you are an insightful, inspirational leader who is able to cut through vast swathes of data to pull out the key point. Now, that's just an example, by the way, but stop and do an internal check and ask yourself, do I identify with that? No. Well, if not, why not? Yeah. Is that me? Well, not sure. What proof of that is there that that's true? Well, actually, time and time again, I've had to do that in my job and I've had to present it and da 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 da. You know, so is that compliment a better vision of me than the one I hold of myself? Probably yes. Yeah. What would life look like, be like, if I truly believed it? How would I act differently? So try that. Just do that internal check. I really think this is an important one because I definitely think my life and my mindset changed when I stopped and decided I was going to compare my inner narrative about me with what other people said about me. So, you know, I was a self-critical overachiever, very self-critical anyway. And I really found that believing or stepping into the other version has given me so much confidence and enjoyment and belief. So that's why I was a self-critical overachiever. And now I just say I'm a happy overachiever. Yeah. Because I love what I do and I recognize. So when those compliments come in, pay heed and think, yeah, actually, I do see the evidence for that. So why don't I live like that instead of this negative version of me that I hold all the time? So my call to action for you all is to dial down the obsession with criticism and self-criticism and lean into the compliments and double down on aligning your internal beliefs with those. So the more you do, the greater your self-confidence and also, super importantly, your emotional resilience. Okay, so that's it for this week. P.S. Thanks to the original image creator. If anyone knows who that is, please let me know so that I can credit them. All right, take care. Bye. See you next week.